Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody, on this Wednesday, episode number 520 of the RP Show. It's a very special treat for you. I should have worn my Argos shirt, which I bought in the Toronto airport the other day, but I'm wearing it in spirit. Let's go to the University of Guelph right now, which is where the Toronto Argonauts are holding their training camp. And this is a guy, Ricky Collins Jr., whom I told him before we went to air here that I'm excited for the interview because I thought he retired. A couple of weeks ago, he signs with the Argos, and now he's in training camp. How you doing, Ricky?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Well, 100% now that I'm talking to you. What happened? You just couldn't stay away from pro football or what? Take me through what led you to sign back in the CFL and with the Toronto Argonauts.
Man, it really started with the kids that I was training or whatever back home in Tyler. They was always asking me, Coach, why you retired? You still young. You got more years to play or whatever. And then it made it more easy for me to sign back to the CFL with my wife. She's talking about, I know you still got more left in you. Do you think this was prematurely, stuff like that?
Well, I tell you what, Ricky, I'm proud of you for doing that. And I met your wife, I don't know if you remember it, that, I don't know what it was, autograph signing or something at Capital GMC, and met your little man there. And this is a pretty inspiring story to me that I didn't even know. So when you went out and looked for a contract, because I know you'd had some offers, what made Toronto appealing to you?
Just me knowing some of the coaches and some of the guys over here on the team. I know that I would be able to mesh well with the coaching staff and then also with the players. So that made it an easy choice.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell me, if you don't mind, what life is like for you right now. I guess, are you guys calling it a bubble? What are you calling it there at the University of Guelph? What's your days like?
Right now, I mean, we call it a bubble. We call it, some people call it jail. Some people call it, But right now, we wake up in the morning and do meetings, and then we're done for the day. I know we get to take 2 15-minute breaks, like go outside and make sure we're not congregating around each other and stuff, take a walk or whatever. But usually I'm done around 2:15-ish every day. Get my day started at like 10 for right now.
Well, you mentioned that you're not you mentioned it off the air, not the most active Twitter guy, but I see some other CFLers saying that they're going nuts in their rooms already, and it's kind of just starting. But you're a pretty mentally tough guy. How are you getting through this?
Shout out to my wife, man. She sent me up a projector screen so I could, a projector, not a screen, a projector, so I could play my game, my system on it. It was, at the first 2 days, it was low-key kind of rough, man, not being able to watch TV, not being play the game, just being stuck in the house with nobody else in it. It was crazy.
Well, so I'm interested. For those that don't know, Ricky played with the Saskatchewan Roughriders from 2016, 2017, with the BC Lions in 2018. And then Edmonton last year, where you had your best year as a pro, 1,103 yards. So you're looking, obviously, to build on that. And you're still a young guy, Ricky. They're right, born in 92. What is it about the Argos offense that has you excited that you could light it up out there?
We got so many pieces. It's hard for teams to just focus in on one receiver. I mean, you look at the names that we have, like DeVaris Daniels, Eric Rogers. Then we got Kendall Wright, me, myself, and then you have Dejan Brassette. Like those names right there just jump off at you, And I know at the end of the day, those are just names, but people know what we can do. So it's gonna be fun.
Two more that I'm thinking of. Dejan Brassette. Have you had a chance to talk to DB out there yet? Like, you talk about this talent, you guys haven't, I wouldn't think, been on the field together yet.
No, we haven't been on the field. We haven't been on the field together at all. But I haven't been able to talk to DB. I've definitely seen his film, though, and I like the kid. I like him.
Yeah, and a Toronto kid, I think the sky's the limit for him. And then here's another name, Martavis Bryant. Has he shown up yet? Is he in camp?
Martavis Bryant. Martavis being Martavis, That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I know you guys will be rivaling each other for throat tattoos, but this is going to be an unbelievable competition in training camp, man. Like I would want to. You could sell tickets to watch you guys training camp sessions. I would think that's going to be explosive.
Yeah, I mean, training camp for the receiver corps, man, it's going to be a good one. I mean, like I said in my article, if you playing the wrong sport if you don't like competition, that's what it's all about. Competition brings the best out of everybody. I mean, I love competition, so I mean, I hope the next guy loves competition. That's what football is.
Have you got the sense, Ricky, that there's a little bit of a chip on the players' shoulders there with the Toronto Argonauts? I mean, you've been down in the States, in Texas. I don't know if you've noticed. You were like the latest when you got signed, right? The Cameron Judge, the Charleston Hughes, all these big names. People are like, where are they getting the money? Sean Oakman. Where are they getting the money from? Have you guys kibitzed about that and laughed about that? They're like, there's no way they can afford all these guys. Is there something brewing that way and you guys want to prove people wrong?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a chip on our shoulders. I mean, I know I can speak for myself, being a late addition to the team. Because I know everybody is saying it's a lot of egos out there on the team, which, I mean, it is. Everybody's their own man, But at the end of the day, you just go out there and play football and take care of business at hand. Everything take care of itself.
Ricky, what's funny about that is you hear it all the time, right? And there's only one ball. You've played on some very good teams in the CFL. How do you satisfy a bunch of guys that want the ball on every play?
Man, everybody just got to stay patient. That's all it is. You got to stay patient and know that your number is going to get called and just make a play when your number is called. Don't get surprised when your number's called.
The interesting thing, too, is your quarterback position. I'm not going to, again, you guys haven't been on the field yet, but there's a little bit of a question mark who starts in week one. Nick Arbuckle or McLeod Bethel Thompson, right? I mean, I guess that's what training camp is for, but those are two pretty talented guys. What have the meetings been like with them?
I mean, receivers haven't been able to meet with the quarterbacks yet, but I know both of those guys, their understanding of the game, their understanding of the offense, and they're top-tier quarterbacks. I mean, look at what McLeod just did recently. Look at what Arbuckle just did, So that's going to be a good competition too, man. I don't care who's back there, I don't care if it's 1A or 1B, whoever's out there, we're going to go have fun. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I know the next man – go ahead.
No, you go. The next man, yeah. Go ahead.
And I know the next man, whoever's not starting at quarterback, he's going to be cheering on the guy that's in the game at that moment. So that's something that we're trying to build.
Well, I think that's very exciting for the Argos, and they might be my number one team this year. But I got to tell our viewers a story that when you came to Saskatchewan in 2016, you'd already made the team. You and I have talked about this on this show before, but you didn't know it. Right? And one of the guys that was running, you're smiling already, was John Murphy. And I'm like, Murphy fumbled a punt in a preseason game, man. Normally you cut a guy like that. And Murph's like, oh, no. We know what he is. And they did know what you were. So when you had this as a player, when you had that opportunity to sign with the Argos, I got to think that Murph's fingerprints were all over that deal because he's your number one fan.
Yeah, Murph being Murph, man. Once everything got going, my agent, Murph, me, we talked about everything and stuff like that. We ironed stuff out, and the rest is history. I'm the Argo now.
Yeah, but you've played in BC, you've played in Edmonton, you've played in Saskatchewan. You've only played in Toronto in road games. What is it about that city and BMO Field and that franchise that has you excited to take the field here next month?
I mean, for me, one thing is that I want to help restore what the Argos once was, It was a good franchise, man. We're in a great city, it's Toronto. So with bringing back what Toronto once was as far as a franchise, it did been in a good city, a great city, you can only imagine.
But, the last one I have for you, Ricky, is you're doing this a little backwards. Your old teammate, Brendan Labatt, has retired. You've seen all the news of guys retiring. You came out of retirement to play. Like, that's a heck of a story right there, man. And, you see these retirements across the league. I guess everybody has to do what's best for them, right? I mean, what's your take on the way things are going down in the CFL right now?
All right. I mean, everybody's being a man. They're standing behind what they're doing. And I'm 100% with everybody. You know, if you're retiring, if you're coming out of retirement, it doesn't matter. If you're sitting out a year, I mean, you're doing what you need to do to make ends meet or to be there with your family, whatever it might be. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I applaud everybody that's making every decision they're making at this moment.
Good for you, Ricky. Well, I'll say it again. I applaud you for yours. When I saw that news release come across from the Argos that they'd signed you, I'm like, he just couldn't stay away. And I'm glad to hear that your family was involved in that decision. Listen, if you want to tell any of your teammates if they're bored and they want to come on our show, they're more than welcome to. But I appreciate you spending some time with us today, Ricky. Always good seeing you.
Nah, no problem, man. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
Good having me on today.
Appreciate it. Ricky Collins Jr. of the Toronto Argonauts joining us from the University of Guelph. Quarantine ahead of Argos training camp. We'll be right back with a sports update. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.